5 manipulation tricks you need to recognize. Have you ever had a conversation with someone that left you thinking, wait, why did I just agree to that? You weren't forced. They didn't threaten you. But somehow, by the end of the conversation, you felt guilty, confused, or responsible for something that wasn't really your responsibility. That's what makes manipulation so difficult to recognize. It doesn't always look aggressive. Sometimes it sounds like concern. Sometimes it sounds like love. And sometimes it sounds completely reasonable. So today, let's look at 5 manipulation tactics that people commonly experience and how to recognize them. Number 5, the guilt trip. Imagine you tell someone, sorry, I can't come today. Instead of accepting your answer, they respond, wow, I guess I'm just not important to you. Notice what happened. They didn't explain why they're disappointed. Instead, they turned your decision into a statement about your character. Now you're not thinking about whether you actually wanted to go. You're thinking, am I being a bad friend? That's the guilt trip. The goal isn't necessarily to convince you with logic. It's to make you uncomfortable enough that you change your decision just to get rid of the guilt. And here's an important distinction. Someone expressing genuine disappointment isn't automatically manipulating you. The warning sign is when someone repeatedly uses guilt to control your choices or punish you for saying no. Number 4, the silent treatment. This one can be especially confusing. You have an argument with someone. Suddenly they stop talking to you. You ask what's wrong. They say, nothing. But they continue ignoring you. So what happens? You start replaying the entire conversation. What did I do? Are they angry? Should I apologize? And eventually, you might apologize even though you don't actually know what you did wrong. That's why intentional silence can become a powerful form of emotional pressure. Now, there's an important difference between taking space and using silence as punishment. Someone saying, I'm upset, I need some time before we talk, is healthy communication. Someone deliberately ignoring you to make you anxious, guilty, or desperate for their attention is a different situation. The key question is, are they taking space to regulate themselves or using silence to control you? Number 3, gaslighting. You've probably heard this word online. But gaslighting isn't simply someone disagreeing with you. It's when someone repeatedly tries to make you doubt your own memory, perception, or understanding of events. Imagine you clearly remember someone saying something hurtful. You bring it up, and they respond, that never happened. You explain what happened. They say, you're imagining things. Over time, you might start questioning yourself. Maybe I remembered it wrong. Maybe I'm overreacting. Maybe I'm the problem. That's what makes this tactic so damaging. Instead of discussing what happened, the conversation becomes about whether you can trust your own perception. If you repeatedly leave conversations, feeling confused about things you were previously certain about, pay attention to that pattern. And when something important happens, don't be afraid to seek perspective from someone you trust. Number 2, the moving goalposts. This one happens more often than people realize. You do exactly what someone asked, but suddenly the requirement changes. You finish one task. They say, yeah, but you should have done this too. So you do that. Then there's another problem, and another. No matter what you do, you never quite reach the finish line. That's moving the goalposts. It's especially noticeable when someone's standards seem to change every time you meet them. Instead of having a clear expectation, you're constantly trying to prove yourself. And eventually, you might start thinking, maybe I'm just not good enough. The solution isn't to endlessly chase approval. Sometimes the healthiest response is simply to ask, "What exactly do you expect from me?" Make the expectation clear, because you can't meet a standard that keeps changing. Number one, the "if you really cared" trick. This might be one of the most recognizable. Someone wants you to do something. You say no, and they respond, "If you really cared about me, you would do it." Think about what just happened. Instead of discussing the actual request, they've connected your decision to your feelings for them. Now you're forced into a false choice. Either do what they want, or prove that you don't care. But those aren't the only options. You can care about someone and still say no. You can love your friends and still have boundaries. You can respect someone and still disagree with them. That's why phrases like, "if you loved me," "if you were actually my friend," or "if you cared, you would," can be warning signs when they're repeatedly used to pressure you. The bigger picture. Here's something important. One sentence doesn't automatically make someone manipulative. Everyone can say something emotional when they're upset. What matters is the pattern. Do they repeatedly make you feel guilty? Do they punish you for saying no? Do they make you question your own memory? Do their expectations constantly change? Do they use your feelings for them to control your decisions? If the answer is yes, that's when you should pay attention. And you don't always need to confront someone dramatically. Sometimes the best response is surprisingly simple. Slow down. Don't immediately apologize. Don't immediately agree. And don't make an important decision while you're feeling pressured. Give yourself time to think, because manipulation often works best when you react emotionally and quickly. The moment you pause and ask, "Do I actually want to do this? Or am I doing it because I feel pressured?" You've already taken back some of your control. So remember, guilt, silence, gaslighting, moving goalposts, emotional pressure. Recognizing these patterns doesn't mean you should assume everyone around you is manipulative. It means you're becoming better at understanding what's happening in your conversations. And sometimes, the most powerful thing you can say isn't yes or no. It's simply, "Let me think about it."